Hi, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today, the place where all the magic happens. On today's show, we have Shaquita, Hopson, and Ronnie Key. You're not going to want to miss this.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first, while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we have the wonderful Miss Shaquita Hopson here today. Now, Miss Shaquita, you have been here how long?
I've been here 3 years. This year in October will be 4.
Okay, and you are or have been a navigator.
Yes.
A college navigator.
Mm-hmm.
And explain what that is.
Well, a college navigator was designed to help students, for lack of a better word, navigate the process of college here at Meridian Community College.
Okay.
Just make sure students stay on track, or even if they're on track, just kind of help them with the different caveats of college. It can be overwhelming at times. And then we have a lot of students who are first gen, so they can't depend on their parents or siblings.
I was when I came here.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's not that they didn't want to help; they just didn't know how.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So the navigator was here to fill that void, so you can have someone to help you, tell you about financial aid, kind of tell you about it. Just all the different various things that could come up for a college student. So we did a lot of, I'm saying did because it was my previous job. We did a lot of things. We worked, we established a seminar
but you're
series.
Still working along those
yes,
lines
yes,
too.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
It's not like, we're going to talk about that in just a
yes,
second. But,
yeah. I didn't abandon that,
right.
that responsibility.
Right.
I just got something added on. But it's my joy. I don't know if I could ever really let it go. I could see myself in another position acting navigator.
Well, because you do what I do
Yeah.
with my students because we fuss.
Yes.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah,
but we're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know you need to be doing
Correct,
that.
correct.
And I noticed that when we do the attendance sheets in our classes, that we can mark if a student has been, maybe they've been missing a lot lately, or maybe they're coming to class and they're not ready, they're not prepared, they don't bring their textbook, they don't, whatever. So we have levels, and then that automatically goes to you.
Yes.
And then you follow up
and we
on
reach out to them, and we try to. Sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's I just forgot. Sometimes it's
you hadn't been to class in 2 weeks.
Yes, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I was in that class. Yeah, you signed up. I mean, it's on your schedule." And then sometimes it's, I didn't feel comfortable. Then this is when it gets serious.
Okay.
I didn't feel comfortable talking to the instructor, because a lot of people. Because when you're in K-12, when you're in high school, usually if you have a problem with the instructor or the assignment, you would tell your mom. Your mom calls. Sure. They have a parent-teacher conference. Here, I mean, technically, I guess you could do that, but that's not normally how it works here. So, I mean, you should talk to your instructor directly and say, "Hey, Mr. Martin, I did not understand that assignment. Can you elaborate further?" And,
I tell students all the time, I'm like, don't look at your teacher as your enemy.
Yes.
We're not out to get you.
We're here to help you.
We're here to help you. And if I have a very good pass rate and retention rate in my class, it makes me look good.
Yeah.
I want to look good.
Yes, exactly. We want to look good. Let's look good together.
I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you do. I can't give it to you.
Correct.
But I'm laying out and saying, okay, this is how you can do it.
Yes.
And I know you do that as well.
Yes, I try to work with the students. I've talked to you, because you do the Success Center, and then you also you're many hats.
Yes. To hide my
Well,
reduced hairline.
Well, hats are nice. I wish I had on a hat because I am also reduced in the hair department as well. No. But I've worked with you on different capacity, and they just sometimes, I think we had a student one time, I don't know if you remember this, but when I first started working here, you which you still do, you were teaching college study skills. It was an on-campus class, and you used to make them make a notebook.
Right.
So the student was very confused. So I said, well, I called you and I told him, and then you said, well, I guess you gave him a timeline. I'll be in my office.
Yeah.
And I talked to you later. The student never came. I don't know if you remember that, but he never showed up. He never showed up, and then I called him later. And
I would
said,
love to say that that's only happened once.
and I called him later. I said, well, you had Mr. Martin gave you a window to come talk, like a window of time to come talk to him. And I said, well, what happened? He said, well, I didn't think I needed the class. But I was like, well, maybe you do and maybe you don't, but you're in the class. So now you potentially could have an F. Well, I think he ended up with an F for college study skills, which...
Don't do that.
Don't do that. I mean, Fs are not good in no class, but
in any class, yeah.
College study skills is definitely, because that is teaching you how to study. And so that just wasn't a good look. But I think he just was very overwhelmed by college.
Sure.
I think I worked with him later on, and then he kind of got it together. We created a plan, and I think he ended up becoming very successful.
One thing I really like about the Navigators is that you stick with the student.
Correct.
Because so many students, in my experience, they start out real strong in the semester. They start out real strong, and then it just kind of peters out.
Yeah.
Toward the end,
Yeah.
and they just that energy is just gone.
Yeah.
And and I've tried to tell them all the time. I'm like, okay, conserve that, get stuff done ahead of time, take breaks here and there, and so you can keep your energy level up and your excitement level and motivation level up. But you're able to stick with them.
Yeah. And then in the future, as my role and our department evolves.
Well, let's talk about your changing role.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
so you are no longer technically a college navigator,
no.
which I cried when I heard that. So what is your new title?
I'm an associate director of advising and retention.
Okay.
And so my role is evolving every day. It's day to day. But right now I'm working more in the advisor. I've added to more of an advisor-like role. I'm able to edit schedules and different things like that. And before, that was probably the one thing I didn't do. I didn't make schedules. Now, I would work with you about your schedules, but I didn't make schedules. So now I make schedules.
Okay.
And then as advising evolves, more navigator-like duties are going to rotate around the whole department.
Okay.
So we're evolving. We're going through some changes.
Well,
yeah.
now, if you don't know this, and I'm just throwing this question out, but are you, and I say this not because of your lack of knowledge or anything, I say this because the role is changing.
Yes,
and there's so many things that we just don't know yet.
Yes.
As far as,
Yeah.
But will each advisor have a set group of students?
Well, we're evolving to that. We're trying
You think
to.
that's what's
I
okay.
think that's what we're trying to go, and
I
just more of
knew
a tight
before
knit relationship.
y'all split it, the navigators. You split it according to the alphabet.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
According to the last name.
Yes. Previously there were two navigators.
Okay.
And we would split the alphabet. I was A through L, and the other person would just handle the rest of the alphabet. We would call them based on that. But we're evolving. We're not. I'm not for sure how we will do that in the future. But the plan is to have that split around all the advisors. So the advisors are going to become more like a navigator.
Okay.
I'm using that word because that's what we use here.
Which I think is it's a good evolution.
Yes.
And and I think we're also, it's like where a student will have one person that they deal with.
Correct.
Kind of. They can come in, that they can deal with and can count on, and who gets to know them a little better. And they follow them through while they're here at
because I have a little theory that if a person has to talk to 15 people, because when you call the operator and you mention 0, and then they say, well, no, you got to talk to Tim. And then Tim says, no, you got to talk to Bob, and then Bob says you got to talk to Susie.
But if I know.
Correct.
I
can talk to Tim, and Tim can I might have to talk to Bob.
Okay.
But Tim can talk to Bob for me, and it just makes my experience a little bit better because you get frustrated the more and more people that you talk to. In my, that's just my little theory. I could be wrong, but so now we're trying to make it more of a close-knit relationship. So someone that you can go and ask questions, and just kind of more navigator-like. Yes.
And because the Success Center, we're going to be moving into the library. We've got big renovations coming, and so we don't know an exact timetable. Yeah. But you're going to be coming in there as well.
Yeah, and I'm a little nervous because we're going to be in the library and we're going to be together.
And we're going to have to be quiet.
I don't know.
It's sad.
Pray for us, people.
Do you think your job title might have changed some more by then?
Maybe so. Maybe so to whisperer. No, just like, but yeah, I'm really excited about the change. It's constantly evolving. You know, I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
I am too, actually. Now, since you've been here, okay, was it what you expected when you came to MCC?
Well,
when you were hired to come here, was it what you expected?
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect it. I don't know if do you understand? I was shocked because I came from middle school. I said I was working previously at a middle school, and I dealt with parents, so I was used to parents. That was shocking.
Okay.
The number of parents that I would talk to in a day's time. I was shocked.
In middle school or here?
No, here.
Okay.
I was a little shocked. I was taken back by it.
That shows you the generational difference.
Yeah.
You know, because I would have been mortified if my mother had called my I mean, I would, and now it's quite common. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, it's nothing wrong with it. I'm not being negative. It's not a negative. I was just shocked that, because granted, I wasn't a first generation college person in my family. Well, I worded that wrong, but my mom was not involved as much when I got to college. So I kind of thought that was normal, like, because she just kind of like, you're in college. That was it. That was the conversation. It wasn't what classes you're taking. It wasn't, and which I think now, looking back on it, which I don't regret it at all, that's what happened to me. I just think now parents are more involved. Sure. And that's one of the good things about community college. Community college lets people kind of figure things out. Sure. Because there's really no time to figure things out at a major university. Because there's so many people there, it's not really anybody. So here's a tight knit group.
And it's so easy to get lost.
You know, and and then some people, that's just not their thing.
And having said that too, it takes a certain amount of discipline.
Correct.
At a 4-year, because I remember my first day when I went, and I came to Ronnie Community College for 2 years and went to a university, and my first day, I remember my instructor saying, I don't care if you're here anymore. Yeah. He said, make sure you're here for tests and for papers. Yeah. And literally the next class meeting, which was an 8 o'clock class, the next class meeting, like half the class was not there.
Oh my gosh.
And I never saw these people again. Yeah. Until the end when they wanted my notes.
I was one of those people.
So you and I are going to be very in close proximity soon. Yes,
I'm looking forward to that.
I really am too.
That's amazing, because it's just going to eliminate so much things for students. We're just come in one area, talk to your go-to person, and then if you need tutoring, if you need the uses of a library, computer lab, it's right there. So I think that's awesome.
I want you back on the show so that we can talk more about your ever-changing title.
Please.
And
then I kind of want a special.
Okay.
I kind of want a Shaquita hour special.
I think we could do that. I mean, with wigs and nails and stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Bye.
We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we have Mr. Ronnie Key. You are a golf coach / advisor.
Correct.
And how long have you been here at Meridian Community
This
College?
is my 9th year.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
It has flown by.
Time has flown.
Time has flown.
It has.
Now, how's golf going?
Well, considering we had a blizzard the past week that sort of knocked us out. But
so
we have had
to find the ball.
That's when the yellow ball, we put yellow ball. But we've already had 2 tournaments.
And I hear we've done well.
Well, we've gotten second in both.
Okay.
We were second by 4 strokes in the first tournament, second by 5 strokes yesterday.
Where were the tournaments?
The first one was in Mobile.
Okay.
And then the one Monday and Tuesday this week was in Gulfport.
Okay. Okay.
So
Now-
and I got sunburned, which is crazy compared considering the
were-
week we had before.
This is such an odd weather time
It is.
for this region of the America.
Right.
But now, okay, so y'all are running gangbusters.
Yes.
As far as tournaments and what you're doing. Are you still able to practice? Now you were able to keep things going pretty much.
We're
during COVID.
fortunate to have an indoor practice facility
Okay.
where we can hit. We have a simulator that they can see the golf ball. It's a driving range. They can see how far they hit it, things like that. They can keep their reps up.
Okay.
And so that's very important this time of year, and especially when it gets like even earlier in January when we're practicing, but it gets dark at 5 o'clock. They can come back and practice on things they need to practice on, but especially last week.
Yes.
And I think we had an advantage over a lot of teams because they couldn't.
Right.
And we could.
Right.
So that's a great advantage for us.
Typically, how many students do you have? Student athletes do you have in your
I have
program?
10.
You have 10, and
Yep.
you always keep 10.
Between 8 and 10
Okay.
is usually it.
Now, what do you look for?
well-
Aside from great golf skills.
Right. Well, and there are more things than just scoring average.
Sure.
And, number one, they have to be a good student.
Okay.
We had a 3.48 team GPA in the fall, which is what we're looking for. They have to be of high character. We're going to make sure that we have student athletes who are high in character, that are the kind of people you want to be around.
Okay.
And
Yes.
one of the things I tell every recruit is, I'm going to protect the kids that want to do right. So if somebody comes in, and I've had a couple of kids lie to me and say, I'll do right, and they didn't do right, we have to take care of them. But because we're going to take care of the kids that want to do right, that want to study, that want to have a good education, but also want to be great golfers too.
And so they typically, we never hear of any problems with golf or with golf students.
We
Never
haven't had
hear of
many.
any,
I mean, there's always, nicks and scrapes, but, we hadn't.
But because your students, typically will come to the Success Center for study halls a lot,
Right.
and never have, they're in there, they're doing their work,
Right.
it's that. So you do.
I'm very proud
How many
of
do you
them.
have typically try to get in the program? I mean, it's like with nursing, you have 270 apply, and they can
Right.
take 50.
Right.
Do you have typically about how many do you
Well,
typically
I mean,
have?
recruiting is crazy.
Sure.
I mean, I probably talk to 75 kids a year.
Okay.
We have a little bit of a parameter in that we use other people's facilities, Northwood and Briarwood mainly.
Okay.
And I have you have to be careful how many you send to or you are on the course at one time.
Okay.
That's kind of a.
This is
I don't
COVID?
want to.
This is
no,
due
no,
to COVID,
no.
or is it-
Because of they are great to us,
Okay.
but we're using their facilities.
Okay.
So they're
gotcha.
not. It's not our facility.
Right.
So we have to be careful. We have to be respectful to them. Not, we never take over the range where nobody, the members can't get on and hit. We never take over the putting green. So we kind of spread out and make sure the members are taken care of, and we're respectful and courteous to them to make sure, so we keep a good, number one, we want to do that, but we want to, keep a good relationship with both courses. And we do. We have a great relationship with both courses.
Sure.
So I can't put 25 kids out on the course and just clog it up for, 3 hours. So that's a little bit of, we have to make sure we maintain that. So that, I forgot what the original question was.
Well, we were talking about numbers and
Yeah.
how many students,
Right.
how many, that you said you talked to 75
Right.
to get your 10.
Right. And
Okay.
then we have, we have, just like all the other sports in Mississippi, we can have 2 from out of state.
Okay.
And then the rest are from Mississippi, which is great. I love Mississippi golf. And so we look all over the state to try to find the best ones.
How long have you golfed? And been
Actually,
involved in it?
I'm a baseball guy.
Okay.
I
How did
coached
you end
baseball
up-
for 28 years.
Okay.
And my son Easton took up golf
Okay.
when he was 8 and I was 40. And so I started playing then and loved it and started coaching at Lamar, the golf team at Lamar. And then came here. And Easton is now the head golf coach at Delta State, thus the okra shirt today. But he's the head golf coach at Delta State. And we have a great relationship. We get to play in their tournament, which is an advantage. We get to play in a Division II NCAA schools tournament, which is awesome, which is a great recruiting tool for them to see our players so that we can help our players move on, which is part of our job, is to get them to move on.
I'm just going to say, many, many years ago when I was in high school, I think it was high school. Yeah, it was high school. I worked at a golf course, a local golf course here. And I'm just going to tell you, I thought those people were some of the craziest people I'd ever seen.
They are kind of crazy,
in my
yeah.
life. But looking back on it, I get such a kick, and I got such a kick out of them then.
Yeah.
Because I remember literally waiting to try to close up, and they would not come in.
They're going to finish their 9 or their 18.
And the balls were not lit or anything like
Right.
that, would glow in the dark, and they would hit them and listen.
Absolutely.
And try to hear where they were
Absolutely. And you get bit by the golf bug, and you just don't want to leave. And you think about it at night and all that. So it's really cool.
I'm surprised that I haven't been bit, but one of the interesting things is I never played a round of golf while I was out there.
Yeah.
While I worked there, because it was the job.
Right.
And it was just an after-school job. But I thought, I was like, there's no way, those people are absolutely crazy. And then, meeting you and working with the students and see that it really is and has so many students and so many people in it who have such good characters.
Right.
And you promote that so much and so well.
Well, thank
that
you.
it's just that it's amazing to me. Like I said, I'm always impressed with the students who come and do study hall in the Success Center.
Thank you.
They always do well.
And I've got a little advantage because that's what they've been taught since
Sure.
they were 8 and they took up golf. Just the atmosphere of golf is supposed to, you keep your own score, but you keep it honestly. You keep, and you're the rule keeper in your group, so you know the rules. You have to know the rules, and y'all have to, and even have to work it out. If you have a dispute between what you think your score is and what I think your score is,
Sure.
we have to talk it out before we go to the next hole.
And I managed to witness quite a few disputes,
Yes.
shall we say.
And there's some emotional disputes.
There were very emotional disputes. And at the time, too, you threw some alcohol in the mix, and it was
some
even
of that.
more fun.
Not with us, but on other golf courses.
This is when I'm talking about
Right.
when I was
Right.
working there, and I wished at the time there you'd had your camera phone.
I know.
And I'd been able to
I bet
record
you could
some
record
of
some
it.
stuff, yeah.
Now, if someone is interested in our program or
Mm-hmm.
interested in coming here, how do they go about getting into, how do they go about letting you know they're interested?
Right.
And how do they go about, getting you what you need
Right.
to look at what they've been doing?
Right.
What
And
do they need to do?
Recruiting is a weird animal that
Okay.
you get information from so many different people. But I take emails, texts, and just sort of get names. But really the biggest step is on our athletic golf site.
Okay.
On the golf page is a questionnaire for recruits.
Okay.
And they can fill that out, and it comes directly to me.
Okay.
Gives me information, lets me know what year they're going to graduate. Gives me some background information on their high school, their coach, and all those kind of things, and that helps me tremendously.
Okay. Now, do they? And I know with some sports they'll send videos of themselves.
They do.
Do they?
Absolutely.
They send videos,
Absolutely.
and that's an important.
It
you
is.
need to-
It is.
And then, at what point do you meet with them?
It just depends. Different things. I may text and
Okay.
call and things like that, and then I may go watch them play. It'd be the only time I meet with them.
Okay.
And so it just depends. And then I have them. Usually the next step, if I feel like they could be a asset to our program, I have them come in for a visit, show them our program, and then they just sort of, it works out from them. Hopefully, we have the ones that also have other offers from other people, but we're the ones that they want to go to.
Sure.
So, I mean, you know, the kids you want are the ones that are out there that are the best kids.
Sure, of course.
So there's always competition. So I always like that there is competition, so we can put our best foot forward.
Now, and isn't there another tournament coming up?
We have one Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just moving
Where
on.
at?
I'm
Where?
sorry, Wednesday and Thursday we leave
Where
Tuesday.
will this one be?
It's at Wolf Hollow, Coley, and Brookhaven, basically.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to have you back on the show
Sure.
and talk some more. As I said, it's always great talking to you.
Sure, I love it. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
On behalf of Matt Milner, our executive producer, and Josh Taylor, our media consultant, thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and we'll see you next time.